What's good with the YouTube? You already know. Big Flacco with the convict's perspective, man. You already know what I'm going to do. I'm going to smash, dash, and slide on through that little bit of energy, man. What's cracking, people? Hopefully everybody's having a nice Labor Day. Hopefully you guys got a little bit of rest. Get back to the grind tomorrow, man. I'm still on the grind 24/7. This doesn't stop. So anyways, I had an interview I was supposed to do today. The person ended up having to change it. So I was figuring, okay, what kind of content I could do. The earlier video, which was pretty good, didn't get a lot of views. So I figured I was going through YouTube and I came across Tony's channel. I always check in with his, and it was about Savage Studios, about a message that happened 2 months ago, and about the premeditation of things. And see, this is something I've said this whole time. There's going to be people out there when you're running a YouTube platform that are going to try to infiltrate with deceptive tactics, false friendships, and so forth. And it's the reason why I limit my interactions with people. I understand not everybody that's reaching out to me is going to have the best intentions, or they can also flip-flop within a moment's time. Say you're rocking with someone solid for about 6 months, they like you, and you start to have a relationship. Hey, they start to feel a certain way, you severe ties, next thing you know, it becomes a mudslinging contest, basically. But this is even on a higher level, man. You got to be careful. As far as having a platform and whatnot, you have to be responsible for what you do, but you also got to secure yourself, man, because there's those out there that are going to be coming with smiling faces. They're going to smile on your face with evil intentions, and those of us that used to live that former life, sometimes we need to recognize that. We can't become too comfortable and feel that every time we have someone who's a strong supporter, that we have the need to reach out and form relationships. That's one thing that I've kind of limited myself to, is for a while people are wondering why I was less active in lives and on social media and IG and whatnot. It's because I got to secure myself. Sometimes there's nothing beneficial for me to have relationships with people. I'll comment with people from time to time, but I'm not going to get in depth too personal because I know where that leads to things, And this is a classic example of the alleged suspect. Say he is the person who actually committed this crime. At the current moment, I have no investment in that, but let's go off a hypothetical statement that he is, okay? If he is the person who allegedly killed Savage, 2 months before, a month before, he was interacting with him online. So there's been so much different speculation, the rumors, and what happened. And you know what, man? I'm not going to be one that's going to sit there and feed into it. But I am going to talk about how we need to be cautious and how being out there on Front Street and creating oppositions and creating enemies is not always a good thing. You have to be responsible for the words that come out your mouth. You have to be responsible for the things that you do. Now, it doesn't mean, like, for me personally, like I'm going to bow down from doing something just because certain people may not like it. Nah, it doesn't work that way. But the same token, I'm going to pick my battles of what's necessary for me to put out there and what is it. It was also mentioned about, there was propaganda put out in his last video, which I guess you could take it a little bit. As far as this is his truth, though, this is his story, this is what he experienced. That's what I'm going to say there. But in the end of the interview, he kind of did have more of a pro-raza stance in things, regardless of where you're from, And that's the unfortunate thing, that sometimes you can't have a voice or an opinion because if it offends certain individuals, people are going to jump on that bandwagon to attack you. And that's the truth of this. That last video, some people were saying, no, it's a 2-5er recruitment tool. No, I'm not supportive of 2-5ers. I'm not against them either. Rioters, whatever you may be, actives, inactives. I'm more about helping people make better decisions, informed decisions, in order for them to live their life the best way they want to be. You want to be a gang member, you want to be about that action, then go be about that action, be a gang member. That's upon your choice. And I'm not going to fault anybody for what they do, But there's those that do want to change their lives. And if you have the ability to do so. Take advantage of it, because these are the end results, And Tony did a good video on it. And I think that it's an eye-opener for every platform to be cautious of what one does or what one puts out there, because there's those that are watching, man. And just one video could take something totally out of context, and next thing you know, you got people that have issues, that are gunning for you, that personally have a vendetta now. And see, that's the thing, man. Like I said, man, sometimes when you're doing content, I will refer to an individual, their get down, their character. You know what I'm saying? From my personal knowledge, not from the he say, she say stuff, man. Because all that's third party information. You know what I'm saying? But when I talk about someone, it's going to be about them. I'm not going to slander any of these groups because I know what the end result is. And that doesn't mean one's going to be afraid to tackle, serious issues or things that could put me in a very perilous situation. Nah, I'm never gonna back down from anything that I believe in. Period. I gotta be me. But Tony's video is a eye opener for a lot of us, though, to really take a step back, man, and look at what you do. Be responsible, man, because there's been a lot of situations in the last couple years. You have the Savage Studio, you had the Taz situation up in High Desert. You've had another situation that happened with the Indian Red Boy. People out there, if you offend the wrong person, you could be putting your life in danger. And that's something that all of us have to take heed to. If you're ready for those consequences and those repercussions and just want to be out there and say, fuck it, that's upon you then. You know what I'm saying? That's clearly your choice. But the end game, man, in this, man, like, it's almost like there's so many people out there that have that bully mentality, I notice, especially on the internet. They're not going to bully you in person, but they feel like they can bully you with words and statements, right, in the comments and whatnot. And they don't want to hear people have a voice. And that's the thing about this country in general, that every group, every individual should stand against any type of oppression or those that suppress your ability to speak your mind and how you feel. Nobody is above anything in life. No one is above God. So if there's those that have an opinion, there's those that have an ideology, by all means, they should be able to speak their truth. And it's up to you, the listeners, whether you agree with it or not. I get a lot of backlash lately because of that. Because I think for myself, no one's going to tell me what I can and can't do. I just have to be responsible myself of what I do. If that makes any sense to you guys out there, man. And, Savage Studios, I'm not going to go into the details, the circumstances and whatnot, right? But there's not acknowledgement that he was being false-friended. He was being befriended, that people came with ill or evil intentions. And that's how these groups operate. So you get the wrong person on a platform that does not know anything about this lifestyle. There's going to be those that are going to try to infiltrate. There's going to be those that are going to try to cause havoc, problems, issues, and conflict, man. That's just self-evident. Tony's video, like I said, it was good. I don't believe the video that I did had anything to do. In fact, I know it didn't have anything to do with what happened. But I'm not going to go into that. You know what I'm saying? But in any event, man, these are things that we need to consider. Now, I do have a story that probably in the next week or two I will tell about, man. And this was a story that was told to me by Savage when I met up with him. And it was about the first time someone attempted to take him out. And I don't know how long ago it was, maybe 6 months, a year ago, around that time frame. But he went into details and told me the story. Out of respect for the family, I didn't want to talk about the story immediately. But I'll be willing to go into it maybe in about a week or so, maybe sooner. And it's a crazy story, man. And it just goes to show that, man, he had a lot of people that, were ready to receive, what I'm saying, his call-outs, what I'm saying, but they weren't going to play fair, which is life, man. Like I said, in general, what happened to him or what could happen to anybody, I don't fault it because it's the game. The game doesn't have no fucking rules. If anybody out there believes that there's rules, you're all mistaken, man. It's a cutthroat fucking game full of twisted turns and crooked fates. Ain't no one have any real integrity or honor in what they do. Those are facts, okay? So what happened is what happened. It's business. Whoever wanted to get them, they did what they did. There's never been no man up fades or anything during my time era. No, there never will be. Doesn't mean that I support or condone what happened. It's just the reality of it. I've always said that, even at a young age. When I used to say, like when I was 18 years old, I'd say, hey, if like 5 dudes from rival hood would rush up on me with crowbars and stab me and hit me with crowbars, I'm not going to call them pussies. I'm not going to say they were weak for doing that. They did that because they wanted to do that. Now, whatever I do in return, that's upon me now. So don't fault me if I do something to you because you opened that door. If you bought that life, it is what it is. And that's the same thing with the situation with Savage. Now, I have had an issue with the way certain people have decided to attack him, afterwards. Once you're dead, whatever your sins are within the streets, it stays there. It stays with your death. There's no reason to talk about it. Any real motherfucker that's about that business or lives by that G code knows what I'm talking about. You clap someone, you smack someone back, you take them out. You know what I'm saying? You earn that notch on your belt. It stays in the streets. Whatever they did in their past, whatever crimes they committed against their past collectives, it stays there. It's not to be boasted about it. It's not to be talked about. It's left alone. And it's not to disrespect them, their family, or even their friends. And that's the fucking real shit about the streets. And anybody who's been in the mix knows exactly what I'm talking about, especially within the Raza groups. Anyways, man, I thought I would respond to Tony's video real quick. Put in my 2 cents, man, and there's going to be more stuff probably coming out from a lot of people about different situations and circumstances involving him. And there's going to be a lot of rumors. And let's remember this, that there's still a criminal case and investigation going on. So before people start to put their 2 cents in, let's not draw too much attention to other people that may not need it. Let's be respectful and wise for what we do, and let's let the judicial process do what they do. Let the investigators do what they want to do. And that's all I have to say about that. Streets are the streets. It is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing, anything can happen anytime, guys. But I hope you guys had a good Labor Day. This is a quick spill. I was supposed to have an interview. It fell through. We're going to do the interview tomorrow. It's going to be Lucky Patino, the Sureño from Coachella, and from out there in the 559. We're going to do part 2 of that interview. With that said, it's your boy Flacco. I'm done. I'm gone.